Hello and welcome back to Adaptation, the ultimate vlog for film and book lovers. I'm Jessica Dunn, and this week we're going to dwell on our adaptation dreams. Wait, what? We've just done that. Well, in that case, it is October, so in true celebration of the spooky season, we will focus on our adaptation nightmares. That's right, this week we will be listing the creatures or monsters or characters that made our adaptation hosts shiver with horror. First on our list, we have the monsters that dominate the pages of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Hologhasts. They're humanoid creatures with tentacle-like protrusions coming from their mouths. They were once peculiars, or people with abilities, who sought to achieve immortality, but instead of turning into gods like they expected, they instead turned into monsters. And it is only by devouring other peculiars and drinking their blood that they are able to recapture some semblance of humanity. So let's recap. We have creepy, tentacly, blood-sucking cannibal monsters. Any questions why we find the idea of these terrifying? And they're invisible, too. Did we mention that? Seriously, one thing after another. The recent Miss Peregrine film did a fairly good job portraying these creatures on screen, but nothing can beat the true horror of the imagination. Another book that had us horror-struck was, appropriately enough, Amityville Horror by Jay Anson. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what freaked us out about this, Sarah in particular, because she's the one who submitted it, because the mystery of the house and the events that occur are never explicitly explained. It's left as a mystery. The book itself tells of the potentially true story of the Lutz family, who move into a new house that has a dark history. The house's previous occupants were brutally murdered. And maybe it's this dark history that is the root of all the problems that they face, whether on a spiritual or a demonic level. From phantom noises and voices throughout the house, graphic illusions, demonic omens, and perhaps the most alarming, their daughter's description of a new imaginary friend, Jody, who is a pig-like demonic creature with red eyes who appears all over the place. By the end, you can't believe it takes the Lutzes as long as it does to escape the place. More than anything, this book shows that there are few things quite as scary as the unknown. And now we're moving on to one known that is just as scary. Very appropriate at this point in time, Pennywise the Dancing Clown from Stephen King's It is very likely the cause of many clown phobias today. To be precise, the creature wreaking havoc in the town in this book is a shape-shifting monster, the self-proclaimed eater of worlds, that takes on the shape of children's deepest fears. But the most prominent form is that of a clown, so that's what everyone thinks when we say it. It feeds on a cycle of hibernation, awakening every 27 years to stalk its prey as their deepest fears, and devouring their terror. Apparently, when Stephen King came up with the concept in the first place, he determined that what children were most afraid of was clowns. And now, thanks to it, that's what most adults are afraid of too. So now let's continue the trauma by returning to childhood fears. Specifically, this was a shared fear between two of our hosts, Jennifer and myself. We were twins after all, so I guess this just makes sense. And we were both terrified of the creature antagonist? I don't really know what to call her. That appeared in a 4-part miniseries within, are you ready for this? The Sweet Valley Twins series by Francine Pascal. Don't laugh, I swear. It was traumatizing. For those of you who aren't in the loop, this was a series that followed identical twin sisters Elizabeth and Jessica Wakefield through their middle school years, so when they were 12. In this 4-book thriller series, books 97 to 100 in the overall series, followed their exploits as babysitters to a family who had just moved into a creepy mansion on the edge of town, and furthermore, introduced us to Eva Sullivan. She was a past resident of the house who suffered a tragic accident while sleepwalking, and has since been able to invade the dreams of its present occupants. Very Freddy Krueger-like, if Freddy Krueger were an 8-year-old girl with dead-looking eyes, horribly scarred flesh on her face, claw-like hands, wearing a daisy-embroidered nightgown, one bunny slipper, and carrying a teddy bear. Somehow it was the teddy bear that did it. I swear, I'm not kidding. This girl terrified me as a child. Her vengeful essence infused the house and caused the children and their babysitters' dreams to turn into nightmares. And you want to know the scariest thing about her? She was supernatural in some way, yes, but in the end, she was human. She wasn't dead. She wasn't a spirit. She was just a disturbed, vengeful person with a crazy attachment to her old house and a wicked, violent streak. Eva Sullivan also shared a lot in common with the final entry on our list, Tom Winslow. The name might not mean much to you, but hold on. He too terrorized the Wakefield twins, this time as an antagonist in a Sweet Valley High super thriller. And like Eva Sullivan, Tom was 100% human. Granted, a human who murdered his girlfriend and tried to get away with it by accosting the protagonists when they discovered his secret. It was one scene in particular that landed this book on our list. Kendall was the one who chose it, and to this day, it is the reason why she does not trust parking garages. Or, alarmingly, men. So I guess we will end this vlog on a somewhat philosophical note, in that, in the end, what scares us most are not werewolves or ghosts or vampires, but human beings doing despicable things. And clowns. Those creepers are crazy. Anyway, that's our very subjective list of adaptation nightmares. I'm sure you viewers have many more to add, so feel free to speak up and voice your fears in the comments section. And if you're interested in learning or hearing more about adaptation, you can visit our pages on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and our blog and podcast on iTunes. Thanks for tuning into Adaptation, and until next time, deliver us from evil. That made our imaginations shiver with horror. Kendall listed this book as the reason why she is afraid of parking garages and alarming men.
And alarming men?
Yep, I don't know.
She's afraid of alarm. Most of us are afraid of alarming men.
Yeah, I don't know. Nightmares.